Hello, it is March, and the search for the American woodcock continues. Somebody on eBird posted a woodcock sighting the other day at Greenwood Cemetery, so that is where I'm going to go today on this lovely Saturday morning. We have arrived to Greenwood Cemetery, which is one of my favorite green spaces in New York City, and I spent some time here when I was in college working on my capstone project as a senior. I studied the captive bird trade, and part of that was an analysis of the feral monk parakeets that live here. I just remembered last time I was here, precisely in this area, I slipped on all these acorns, and the guy I took here on a date caught me and tried to pull me in for a kiss like a rom-com, and I was like, if I liked him, I guess it would have been cute. All of these hedges and rows seem promising, but so far it's just a lot of American robins and white-throated sparrows. I'm getting a little bit discouraged. Yes, it's lit. Like, how auspicious was that? I saw this group of people. We were on a slow slope, and I started talking to them. I was like, hey, they were like, hey, did you see anything good? I was like, no, I'm actually looking for the American woodcock. And they're like, oh, so are we. She gets a phone call, and she's like, oh, okay, we got one. Do you want to come with us? And I was like, yes, please. And then there it was. My first American woodcock. I'm like so lit that I can't even remember the scientific name. Something minor. Wow. What am I supposed to do for the rest of the month now? It's only the 7th. That group also told me about a red-headed woodpecker. Oh my god. Whoa, oh my god, is that it? Wait, no, that's a red belly. Is that the red-headed? Wow, so much different than the red belly. It doesn't have that zebra stripe back. Wow. We've got a bufflehead. Or is that a hooded merganser? I think it's a hooded merganser. Hawk. I don't know what kind yet. Redtail hawk. Are these ruddy ducks? I am not sure. This is called the American black duck, and it's in the same genus as the mallard. Because at first I thought it was a pair of female mallards, and I was like, well, why would they both be together? That little blue feather under the wing is so pretty. I should kill myself. As I was watching that hawk, this guy with a giant camera walked behind me, and I just assumed that he was a birder. So I turned around and I went, he just scared away all the other birds, talking about the hawk. And the guy goes, oh my god, I'm sorry, I thought I was quiet. And I was like, so I walked away, and then I thought about it for a minute. I was like, wait, he thinks I'm accusing him of scaring away the birds. And I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna make it awkward if I go say something else. But then I felt too bad, and I walked around the entire park and I found him, and I was like, hey, I just want to apologize. I wasn't saying you scared away the birds. I was saying that the hawk scared away the birds. Good morning. It is March 21st, officially day 2 of spring, and I'm on my way to go find a white-fronted goose. It has been spotted at the Holy Cross Cemetery, a place I've never been, so I'm very excited to check it out. I am approaching the cemetery. It's a big month for cemeteries. There are some Canada geese, and the greater white-fronted goose was reported with a flock of Canada geese. Where is your rare friend? Lead me to him. Oh no, there's a deceased turtle. This is like a red ear slider. Why is it over here? Maybe it emerged too early from its torpor and then died. Or it's a brumation. I guess we saw another woodcock today. Yesterday's wild goose chase amounted to nothing, but I'm very excited this morning because my friend is leading a walk at Alley Pond Park to look at vernal ponds, which are ephemeral spring ponds. Brine shrimp and fairy shrimp hatch in these ponds. And he posted on his Instagram story last week like a big ass fairy shrimp. And I was like, oh my god, we have those in New York? I didn't even know. He's like, yeah, and I'm actually leading a walk next weekend if you want to come. Hi, so the nature outing was okay today. I did not accomplish my goal of seeing the fairy shrimp, but I got intel of where they're located at Cunningham Park, which is actually connected to the park that we were at today, but I just didn't feel like going there after. But we did see some pretty cool things. There was a spotted salamander, and turns out that Alley Pond Park is the only place in New York City where one can find the spotted salamander. And we also saw a wood frog, and our guide Lewis said it's a two-amphibian day. And I was like, oh my god. In this Ellen Malloy book, my favorite author, as you guys know, I was like, that's so funny because the title of chapter 4 is Two Snake Days, because she saw two snakes. But that's something I've been thinking about, actually, is how she just calls things like a blank day. Like, in one of her other books, she calls it like a watercolor day when she brings out her brother's set of paint to paint some wildlife. And I mean, I do that too, so I just feel that's like part of the reason I love her so much. Like, one of my clients lives by a 7-Eleven, so when I take care of his fish tank, that's my 7-Eleven day, because I can get their decaf coffee. Ovis! Ovis! Say hi to everybody. The bane of any bird is the domestic house cat. A lot of first-time sights for me today in Prospect Park. I saw an eastern phoebe for the first time. There was this bird that was like perching on a tree above the lake and flying out to catch insects, so I knew it was a flycatcher. But I mean, I didn't really know anything about the eastern phoebe, so I e-birded it. And that's what it was. And I just saw a pair of hooded mergansers, and then 2 pairs of wood ducks. I've never seen wood ducks, but they're on the other side of the lake, so I'm gonna go over the bridge and hopefully get a better view. Oh, there's a group of birders all posted up down there. I think they got something good. The group was stopped for a pine warbler. It's very hard to get a picture, but behind me, there's an American coot. See him? Cute little white beak. And then the wood duck's over there. Wow. I've never seen these before. There they go. Let's turn over this cardboard for fun. Okay, well, that was fun. Just like February, I spent the last weekend of March in New Jersey, but it ended up being a rather fruitful trip. I saw a swan on the lake, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It has a black beak. It is a type of swan I've never seen before. So I got out, and I couldn't decide if it was a trumpeter swan or a tundra swan. So I had eBird pulled up, I had Google pulled up, and I was watching this bird for a long time, and then I came to the conclusion that it was a tundra swan. It was surrounded by like a couple American coots And there were also 2 mute swans right next to it, so you could really see the difference between them. While I was there, somebody else pulled up and threw bread into the water, which I object to. I think it's a really horrible decision to feed wildlife in general, especially bread. In what situation is any wildlife going to be eating bread? Another birder drove up after the bread thrower left, and we were chatting for a minute, and I was like, oh yeah, somebody just threw bread. She's like, I hate when they do that. I usually throw cracked corn. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's better, because at least it doesn't like expand in the stomach and the crop. And she was like, oh, I usually come and feed the tundra swan. Would you be offended if I give him some corn? And I said, well, I'm gonna take off, so... Then she gave me like a meek smile and left without feeding corn. In any case, March was really good, aside from seeing my first American woodcock. Foreshadowing for next month. My favorite sighting was the eastern phoebe over the lake, as well as the spotted salamander. As Florence and the Machine once said, in the spring I shed my skin and it blows away with the changing wind. Thank you for spending your time viewing my pixels. I will see you all soon. Bye.